Oh, all right. We are live with the next episode of V Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, chief host of the show, and joining me is none other than my co-host, Avira.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back. Hope everyone's having a fantastic night. We've got all kinds of fantabulous topics to cover, and
It's gonna be fire.
oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna go crazy.
Next on the show is Aeon.
Hola, ¿estás bien?
How you been?
I've been fine. Home and old, freaking been doing the whole stay-at-home order, even though that they're sort of easing up, which I think is a very, very stupid idea.
Be patient. They've got to time this right.
From the way they're looking, yeah, even GameStop's back in business after we just rejected their fucking license.
Moving on. Next on the panel.
Sorry for the curse word, but yeah, they're back.
Moving on. Next on the panel is Sparky.
Hi.
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 I think one word will do the trick for you. And on the panel is a guest we've had for the first time ever. NoDragonsPlz.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Since it's your first time on the show, do introduce yourself. Tell us maybe a little fun fact just about yourself.
So I guess a fun fact is I'm actually coming over here from YouTube, and AVR is actually a subscriber of mine for I don't actually know how long at this point, but that's how him and I met.
So you basically run a YouTube channel that describes things like gaming and that sort of thing.
Yeah. So the main channel, because I've started branching out into several different channels, the main channel has gone back to League of Legends, but I still keep eyes on lots of other games because I'm a gamer at heart, so I just love playing games.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you love watching your content, and especially in this time of quarantine, I mean, I'll basically give you a shout out and a link down, So our viewers can basically, use your content as they see fit.
Yeah, and I always try and be kind of a chill person too. So
I think you'll fit right in because this is a chill show. Serious
Right
stuff,
on.
but chill vibe.
True.
Chill vibe this stuff, yeah. All right, so let's get starting into it. Now, you may have noticed if you're watching the live, the live version of this, that something is a little different in the background. That's right. Now, this season of the podcast, we're coming up with new art for you. That's right. It's here.
Aw,
It's so
so
pretty.
amazing.
Yeah, it's a finished product and it'll be yours to use very soon. So pin this up on your wallpaper, print it out as a poster.
As a
Just the
poster,
perfect-
yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh,
I'll find that shit in a picture, man. Damn.
I had one of the Raiders print out the first iteration of this before Avira was my co-host. Put it up against the wall. So flattered.
Aw, that's awesome.
Best $35 I've ever spent. But yeah. So
Absolutely. And well, shout out to Terry, the artist who made this. He did an incredible job. Seriously, man, thanks.
I know. Without you, none of this would be. Yeah. So, let's get started to the namesake item of our show. Is that our premier furry conventions, thanks to the effects of the coronavirus, have been cancelled for 2020. Yeah, now why do I say premiere? Because Anthrocon basically had to bite the bullet, so to speak. And they actually, after a long time of, holding out, let's see, they had... No,
But
They didn't really have much of a choice in the matter.
Well, I mean, they did kind of. If you recall, a few weeks ago, Anthrocon was talking about. I mean, Kage on his live stream was talking about how he had so many, different contracts with hotels, and if he canceled it, he feared that he'd lose a lot of money with all these massive hotel contracts. and that Anthrocon would go bankrupt if he canceled the con. But now it seems like he might kind of have to, based on essentially government orders, and the fact that a lot of furries just are not willing to go to Anthrocon right now. They were projecting over 10,000 people attending this year. But,
Yeah.
Glad they're listening to the government. That's one big ass vector for this virus.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I guess the pressure got to him and his team, and it says, this is the statement a few days ago. It's with the heavy heart. We have to announce cancellation. Okay, we know that. But now, another convention has also
We'll
closed.
get to that in a second, of course. That just happened in the past 24 hours. And,
I know.
Yeah,
I know. It's
and
big
unfortunately, this was their statement. Yeah, due to the ongoing COVID-19 crisis, for which there is no timely end in sight, we have been forced to make the sad decision to cancel Anthrocon 2020. We had hoped to avoid it, but it has become clear that we will not be able to provide a convention experience that is both safe and enjoyable for our attendees.
And here's the thing, they didn't even postpone it either. They just canceled it flat out. So I guess we're not going to have Anthrocon until, 2021? In July? I guess that's what it's going to be.
I think that's the most realistic option that we're looking at.
Wow.
Well, then they will be back next year.
Yeah,
they always come back.
Yeah, jeez, I hope so.
Well,
I mean, to
be fair, like, since I kind of work in hotels, I kind of know how it all works. It sucks having to do rebooking, especially since there might have been a whole lot of other conventions around the time that maybe they were thinking of rebooking and it just wasn't feasible. And honestly, like, a lot of hotels are in a bad spot too, because they don't want to necessarily book all this business and then have it all cancel at the end.
Right. That's what I was thinking about. Because what Kage said was he had about 11 or 12, contracts with hotels. They were expecting thousands of people to attend. But if the hotels are also out of business and he cancels his contract with those hotels, then what? Like, there's no procedure for this. Everything has to be negotiated, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that it's just right now he might be in talks with negotiations, because usually salespeople don't want to lose big bookings like this, so they'll kind of almost bend over and kind of be willing to say, okay, like, we understand COVID-19 is a big thing, so we'll waive any cancellation fees or something like that, as long as you agree to rebook with us the next time your convention is able. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, so Dragons, you said you work at hotels, you know how that kind of operates. How is the hotel industry doing right now? Like, are they even open in Pittsburgh?
So most hotels are closed. The specific department I work in is definitely closed because it relies on conventions, and with obviously a whole bunch of conventions being canceled, there's just no business.
Right. Wow. Okay. That's crazy.
Now that I understand, and then you've got to factor in as well the price of the contracts. That's easily in the tens of thousands, if not more, for like one hotel room for a span of 5 days to reserve a room block.
Oh yeah, that's easily like $2,000 right there.
But I'll also imagine they have to rent out the convention space itself. The whole convention center.
They have David L. Lawrence
too. And if they cancel that, they're like, well, you rented out our space for 4 or 5 days, and now you just canceled on us, against your contract. Now what? So you have to think about the con space too, which it's a huge con space. If you've ever been to Anthrocon, it's ridiculous. But imagine canceling that. Yikes! I can't even that's why Kage was afraid of losing so much money. He thought that he would go bankrupt. I don't know if they will. I hope not.
There's a lot of things to factor in as well. Like they organize, the cruise that goes around the river. That's automatically going to be refunded if that happens. But
yeah, that's right. Now they're issuing refunds for that cruise. I think one of my friends was on that last year. It looked pretty fun.
I mean, I can't believe it. They'd make the con so extravagant and just.
Yeah, well, they have all these deals with all these big companies, but the thing is, Anthrocon is so popular. Thousands of people attend every year, so they expect that business. But now they don't have that. So
and the city of Pittsburgh gets rallies behind them.
Oh yeah, dude, we have a whole parade around the city. Absolutely, dude, they love us. They have flags over every building in the city. promoting Anthrocon. Like, it's wild.
Well, it brings in tourism if you think about it. You know,
yeah,
so
it does.
of course they're going to do it.
Well, yeah, it helps everyone. Helps the Pittsburgh economy really gets a big boost from the furries. It really does.
Well, it's also similar with conventions in Denver as well. Like, because I work downtown, you basically can always tell who's in town every week because they always put like big flags that say "Welcome to this convention," like I don't know, like surgeons or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely any convention brings a lot of business to any city that it happens in, which is kind of cool.
And I want to get into your case too, because I guess your community would be considered the Denver, what's it called, the Denver comic?
Oh yeah, so it's not Denver Comic Con because of a lawsuit by the actual
Denver
Comic Con.
Pop Culture Con.
Yeah, it's Pop Culture Con. So currently, Pop Culture Con is postponed all the way to the week after Thanksgiving, but honestly, it's kind of looking like there's strong possibilities that it'll just have to be canceled outright. And that is one of, if not actually the biggest kind of convention that comes through Denver, is the Denver Pop Culture Con. Like almost 30,000 people on peak days are in the the Colorado Convention Center. So,
wow.
And it's a great way for like a lot of artists and a lot of mom and pop shops to buy booth space and be able to make a little bit of business. So I'm sure that is going to be hurting a lot of people who locally make stuff for Pop Culture Con.
Yeah, that's true. Like you gotta factor in the dealers tables. You gotta, all that stuff.
Yeah, I would also factor in the 30,000 people who flock to this convention, and they use local businesses. They go to restaurants, they go to arts and craft stores. 30,000.
Not to mention, registration tickets that are the bottom line for the event organizers too.
Oh yeah, and buying hotel
looking at losing
stuff.
what, like $400,000 to $500,000 worth on that alone.
Oh yeah. I mean, the nice thing about Pop Culture Con is they've managed to keep like the actual entry costs down, and that's due to a lot of like vendors pay a good amount to be there because they know they'll be able to make it back. But this could actually affect how many vendors want to come in, and it could actually affect the direct price line of the ticket as well. It'll even probably affect celebrity appearances as well. So
yeah,
yeah,
probably would.
No doubt. So we do have another convention that's had to bid the bullet in the past span of 24 hours, and that would be Europe's premiere for a convention, Eurofurence.
Yes, unfortunately, the convention in Europe, which is the largest one there, Eurofurence is essentially Europe's equivalent to America's Anthrocon or MFF. It's like the biggest one there.
Yeah, sure, understandably, it's got like, a third or somewhere between a third or a quarter of the attendance figures, which is like 4,000 projecting maybe, but it's nothing to sneeze at still.
It's the biggest con in Europe. Like, if you were in Europe and you want to go to a FurCon, you go to Eurofurence. Like, that's where it's at.
Yeah, you fly to Germany. Yeah, fly to Germany. So.
Yeah. Now it seems like they have also just canceled their convention for this year.
Yeah, they did say that too. Like, under the mandate of the Berlin government, all events of 1,000 attendees or more must not take place until August 31st of 2020. This includes Eurofurence.
Yes. I also very much like Cheetah's, signature there at the end. It says yours sincerely. He didn't use his he/him pronouns this time, so good on him for being mature.
I know that some chairmen do that, but it's just tacky.
Oh, he did. Yeah, Cheetah did. Yeah, he did. So good, but yes, so it's canceled. No.
And yeah, so in that case, though, in Eurofluence's case, attendees can either be fully refunded, or they can voluntarily donate some of the con fee to the convention. So the choice is up to them.
Yeah, yours sincerely is more smart than using he/him pronouns.
Yeah, right. Oh, Sparky, I was wondering, let's say if you got a ticket to this convention, and they wanted you to either refund it or donate it, like what would you do?
I just get a refund.
You just get a refund? Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's well. Yeah. All right. I guess I probably would too. Because
But like unlike most cons though, just a bit of a difference. Like Eurofurence can't exactly roll the finger over to next year. The registration tickets, weirdly, like cited risk.
Right, but that is a promising sign though, because they're saying that we hope to see you next year. So they are planning on having Eurofurence in 2021. That's a positive sign, I think. Right? Pretty positive. At least that's what they
I would hope so. I don't know. A lot of conventions also just kind of always assume that they'll be there next year, and sometimes they just aren't. Like I think,
okay. Yeah.
because like non-Desukon for Denver, they used to come every year. Now they come like every other year. Just because for whatever reason, the Denver anime community is not that big, or at least not willing to get out and go to a convention.
Okay.
I'm not even shocked by that.
No, yeah, it really makes sense. You know, like if there's an event going on only once every 2 years, it's like, well, that's the time to go, and then I think that's going to draw a lot more people. Yeah, it's a pretty smart business decision to do that.
It is, and I think a lot of it was inspired because last time I went to Non-Desukon, I was actually a guest speaker at Non-Desukon. That was kind of fun, but
oh yeah, I think you told me about that a while ago.
Yeah, no, I was a guest speaker for a gaming like showcase thing like that. But in 2016, when I went, there was only maybe 1,000 people, which is by like popular Denver convention standards is kind of low, in all honesty.
But when you stack it up against other anime cons in other states, Atlanta, Illinois, and that are just much bigger.
Yeah, I mean that's true, and also Denver. A lot of people don't actually live downtown, and they would always hold it downtown. So there is that issue as well. Not a whole lot of people want to go downtown for an anime convention, and anime is just not as popular as like Pop Culture Con, which encompasses everything.
Right.
I guess there is that too. So, But as things really are looking, though, what's the current trajectory that we're expecting to have? Because I'm thinking, it's May now, and at this point, I'd say that if they're really going to have to cut their losses, the events in July are either going to be cancelled or just breathing too far down the neck. And the August ones, yeah, if Eurofurence was a sign, then it's not looking too good for them.
I know for Denver, a lot of like the big conventions, like the car show and all that, are canceled for sure. Like Pop Culture Con seems to be the only unique one that is saying they're postponed because I guess they're optimistic that by the end of November we'll be in a state where people can at least go out and go to a convention.
Yeah.
Right. So in Colorado, are they like lifting restrictions on things? I'm not really
sure. So for Colorado, April 26th, with the exception of a few counties, was the last day of the actual stay at home, and it has now switched to safer at home, where you still can't have gatherings more than 10 people. You're still required to wear a mask, social distancing, all that, but you are at least allowed to like go gather with like your friends and stuff. But there are a few counties that have an exception to that, mostly in high metropolitan areas like Denver County and Adams County and Arapahoe County. All have extended to May 8th for stay at home. But after that, I think they're also assumed to be going to safer at home.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds like a plan for Denver. And yeah, one other little thing that that you could be brought up. Noble says donating to the right kind of cause can be better because I mean, when you look at Eurofurence thing, it was kind of brought up that you could voluntarily donate your registration fee to the convention as to cover the losses, but there was an option too. Like, you could be to the charities as well.
Well, yeah,
So,
it also depends on the situation. Like, I know a lot of furries who are basically broke, and they, work at these minimum wage jobs. They save up a couple $100 to go to a convention that they go to maybe like once a year. And so, if they were to, get a registration for a convention, and then it happened to be canceled, and they're like, "Well, there goes 3 or 4 of my paychecks." In some cases, it makes sense to, get a refund. I get that, but if you have some extra income, I guess donating to help the con, be alive the year afterwards would probably be a good thing too. I think it depends on individual circumstance.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say so too. And it's also like a hard judgment call as well. Like, do you just hope that enough people donate to where the con is alive next year, or do you assume
Right?
that
Yeah.
people are selfish in nature and just get your refund, thereby being selfish in nature yourself? It's a judgment call.
Oh well, that's what
I don't know if you've ever seen the example with like the trolley car going down the track and there's
I did.
one
Yes,
person, the
either
one
you kill
person
one
or the
person or
four
you kill.
people.
Yeah.
That's a
That whole-
classic thing, or it's like one of those thought experiments.
Yeah.
But I get your point. I do.
No, I do too, and that's a very good question about like, do you think that Eurofurence is relying on its people to just donate, or no? I don't think so. I think they just did that as a kind gesture. They said, "Look, we have to cancel this. If you want a refund, go for it. If you want to donate, go for it." I don't think they had any kind of business, preposition that relied on donations to that extent.
Right.
I don't think that's what
Yeah.
they were thinking. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not a CEO there. I don't know. But I
Yeah.
feel like that
But
would
anyway,
be the most
yeah.
smartest thing.
But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to conclude this segment in saying that Avira, I know you're upset about Anthrocon, but it's
I'm so upset about Anthrocon. Don't even stop it.
It's okay. It's okay. It'll be back. Hopefully very soon or next year.
Yeah, I know. I've been going to Anthrocon for the past like 5 years. And
Well,
now
I've
this
never
happened.
been to a convention, so, lucky you.
I mean, I can sympathize. I've been going to Pop Culture Con for the last 5 years, so I'm a little upset that it got postponed and probably is going to be canceled.
Right? What the heck?
I mean, I was going to try and go to Pueblo Comic Con, but, due to all the virus concerns, I don't think they're going to be open for business anyways.
I think we'll have at this point we'll just have to start, swinging at 2021 with a vengeance.
Considering that this is the Roaring 20s 2.0.
Yeah.
Not much to say about that, but we'll just have to wait and see. What the rest of the month bring to the table. But yeah, so let's get on to the next item of interest. Oh boy, you're going to even.
Yes, Naughty Dog's continued bullshit.
Right. So to start with, The Last of Us 2 gameplay leak came from a developer that hates its divisiveness.
Divisiveness?
I mean,
divisiveness. Yeah.
Divisiveness, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sorry for the mispronunciation, but you get the point. The thing is, there was a big leak that also just, it happened. A lot of, a lot of spoilers for the game were put out onto the internet, and now Naughty Dog has literally just gone in, clamped so hard, issuing copyright strikes and all and such sort of things to try and
Yeah, they're literally silencing people who even dare talk about it. Even if they don't even got the clips or the pictures of it, they will just copy strike you like a Twitch thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten to the point where a lot of creators are having copyright strikes and copyright takedowns for just even mentioning it. Not just like it could even be a brief mention too, like a 2-second, like, oh, did you guys hear about this? And then
all of a sudden, bam.
Yeah.
Oh shit! There goes our episode. No, not really. I'm just.
Well, people are lawyering up. That's a good thing, So, big boom for lawyers right now.
I wonder what the problem is here, because it says, news, headline, Naughty Dog made female characters less feminine. Now, why would they do
that too? Right, here's the thing. I've seen some of the designs from The Last of Us 2. They've really changed what the titular character Ellie looked like, and yeah, no, I'm not vibing this.
Well, I thought.
Yeah, I've seen how she looks. She kind of looks like Tess, but more muscular or masculine for some reason. Why the fuck is that?
I think her face looks just way more boyish for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I think somebody got a little bit too Winona Ryder with their choice.
Guys, in these games, they wanted more female representation, right? So why would they bring in females, as characters, to promote their woke message, and then make them more masculine? Why? Why?
Power fantasy, if I do believe so. They want to be like Ellen Ripley.
There's a couple of other things too, as well, like when design choices are being made.
And this does not make sense.
No, this is not it, Chief. This is not it. But what I can say is, yeah. Look, and not to mention, remember when they first released one of the trailers for The Last of Us 2, was that they had Ellie kissing her her girlfriend, and I think a lot of people were was this really necessary?
Yeah, really. Do you really have to shove that in there within the first few seconds? Couldn't you not just built up to it or something like that? It's like an English patient.
I mean, look,
the build-up needs to happen, or else the whole result is just blown to hell.
No, I know. I don't care about having gay characters in video games or movies or whatever, as long as it's relevant to the plot and is a good story and stuff. But
pretty much, yeah.
Just to
just like me not even caring if there's female characters or African American characters, the game has to be good.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Matters.
The only thing I care about is the game good? Does it, have a good plot? I don't care if the character is, white, African American, Hispanic, Asian. All I know is, are they a good character? So I have to give a crap about them. Because mostly in Infinite Warfare, the only thing I gave a damn about was the goddamn robot.
And as we know, oftentimes they are not, because they have movies that are specifically geared towards, we're going to have a diverse cast, and then they pick some random people who just happen to be of a particular race or gender or whatever. Look
no further than the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
Yeah, that's a good example. That's what they did. And look, I don't care what races they were, but they were just terrible actors. They really were. And
they don't. Yeah, they just don't need to come back.
Right. We were about to say something. No more dragons. No dragons, please.
Oh, so for me, I don't actually care. I don't care if the character's gay, straight, pan, whatever.
Same.
But what irritates me is when it's obviously forced upon you about hey, look at this. I'm no, they could just kiss once in the game. I'm okay, cool. Ellie's gay, whatever. Is the story good? Is Ellie a cool character?
Yeah, and getting back to your point about Avatar: The Last Airbender, or Korra, I think that's a moment when they did it well. It wasn't forced upon anything, but at the end of the series, spoiler alert, Korra and Asami, end up being together. But it was just a very subtle thing, and I thought that was kind of
poetic,
and it worked out pretty well, especially because Korra was writing.
I kind of like when media does that, the subtlety. They ain't bashing it over your head with a stick or something, saying just standing in front of you like Mr. Meeseeks, going hey, I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me, look at this.
No, I know, but the show had a very good storyline. At least I thought it did. That's my opinion, but it was very well written, and the main character happened to be a lesbian or bisexual or whatever, and it didn't really affect my opinion on the entire story, because I thought it was very well written, very well choreographed, and all that, and I thought it was great. It wasn't forced. That's the difference.
So,
and games like this will do that.
Right. I want to get you bring up a good idea. Is the plot good? Well, here's the thing about The Last of Us 2. It's not a good sign when you had to have voice actor Troy Baker say, tell his his fans and all that, and gamers who would like this game, to keep an open mind.
Yeah, it's not promising when Troy Baker has to say it, or even dare I say, what was his name? He was a mom in frickin' Riddick. I can't remember his name, but Keith David. There. Yeah, when somebody Troy Baker or Keith David starts telling you that kind of thing,
it's not a good sign.
Things are not good.
Well, of course, they are in deals, of course, so they can't like publicly say like, "Hey, this is a bad game" for like so many
Oh, I
years.
know, but when they
Yeah.
start telling you to keep an open mind, they're just low-key telling you, yo, it's gonna suck.
But they're telling you keep an open mind because like usually how voice actor work works is you get like a flat rate, and then if something sells well, you get a bonus. And so I'm sure they're kind of like defending it, A, because of contract reasons, but B, because well they want it to sell well enough to where they get their bonus, because usually that's how contracts work with that stuff.
I understand, people gotta hustle for the money.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. To sum up, apparently it's been said that the story of The Last of Us 2 is that the villains are basically a religious zealot cult. And it seems to be like this, apparently a homophobic one at that, too.
Oh, we're going back to Catholicism. Joy.
No, I mean, okay, whoa. I'm just... That's
No, I think
actually
maybe
an
even just
interesting
zealots
story.
or fundamentalists.
I'm talking about,
Joel,
straight up the
that's
religious
actually
zealots from like back in the 80s to the 50s. If you dare step out of line, pretty much that. So they're going to be using that kind of thing. That thing's been done to hell, I think.
I was going to say that's a very interesting story, actually. Like, if there is a religious, cult out there in the storyline of The Last of Us 2 that is, anti-gay and whatnot, then, okay, I guess it's relevant to the plot that the main character might be a lesbian. Okay.
What happened?
Like
what happened to this whole, zombie survival thing?
The Last of Us.
What happened to just surviving this new cordyceps infection?
You haven't even played it yet. You haven't even played it yet.
What? Yeah. Go ahead.
I played the first one at least to know what the hell's going on.
NoDragonsPlz.
Oh, I was gonna say, The Walking Dead was popular, and they kind of explored a lot of like what would people actually do in a zombie apocalypse, like politically and all that. So maybe Last of Us 2 is trying to play that route.
No, yeah, I agree. I think during the times like the after times after the apocalypse, yeah, people are gonna definitely
the fungal virus that's affecting people.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But like, if that was happening in the world, and there was some, I don't know, priest or something who's like, "Praise me, everyone, Lord, listen.
There would be people
in the end times, and I know the way." I mean, if you're starving, you'd be like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna."
Yeah, there'd be people.
Join with the cult that makes the most sense out of the world right now.
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, though,
makes sense in that world.
This is, I mean, yeah,
in the apocalypse,
In
the apocalypse, people go insane. Actually,
I mean, look at COVID-19 right now. Like, people are already going insane.
Yeah. It's
hoarding all the toilet paper is one of the many things.
But here's the thing. I mean, The Last of Us 2 is no Far Cry 5 story-wise, of course. But when you really bring that up, though, I want to bring up another point as well. Like, Naughty Dog's, it's internals is under a lot of turmoil because, once again, you could argue that the angle that they're going for is nothing more than just Christian bashing, and people inside there, there's Christians in the group who disagree with the message, but they can just buckle down and get the job done, despite the fact that it just tears them up inside.
The people said that on Far Cry 5, but it turns out Far Cry 5 was also about a cult trying to take control of the region.
Right. But essentially, inside Naughty Dog, though, you can pretty much argue, the team is divided on the game, and even voicing your concerns on its story will upset certain individuals. Where have we heard that before?
Oh, I know a few. And here I thought they were a dying breed, but you would think people on Reset era.
Right, but here's the thing. It's ultimately down to, the head honcho of this project, Neil Druckmann, pretty much. So, and let me just say in the bottom line of this, though, this is why you do not hire politically motivated people onto, to lead a project.
At least not to storyboard, for sure.
As Krusty the Clown would say, it's ratings poison. You know, that's what it is. It's literally poison. Nobody wants to see that. No, people want to play a game and get rid of the politics unless the politics, really fit the story well.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to be bashed for saying, "Oh, you're this. Well, this is how we see you." You know, nobody want to have that told to them like straight up. I mean, subtle and making fun of them. Yeah, I can understand that. You know, as long as it's done and it's actually funny. But just sitting there bashing them all because they have a different way of thinking. Nah, sorry, bud. Try again.
Actually, it's kind of interesting, and it reminds me of like a Final Fantasy that didn't do well on release because it was a super politically motivated Final Fantasy.
Which one we talking, 15 or the 13th game?
No, we're actually talking 12. Like, there was a lot of political motive in 12.
I have never touched 12, so...
Oh, so there was
I'm glad I dodged that.
There was a lot of political motive in 12, but it was done in a decent way, but just because of when it was released, it was not criticized as like a very great game. But when they redid it for the Zodiac Age, people like love the story because it actually mirrors a lot of stuff that goes on today as well.
So it's basically ahead of its time in a way.
Yeah, pretty much. But I don't think that's gonna be the case with The Last of Us 2.
Oh, no. I don't see that becoming the case.
A symptom of our time.
But here's the thing. Now, to get back to the whole, leak issue, which is, been very, very contentious. Apparently, it has, Sony has found, the people who are responsible for making The Last of Us 2, where everybody thought it was just a disgruntled employee who just, sourly took the stuff and left Naughty Dog.
Yeah, so supposedly it's now no one at Sony or at Naughty Dog. Like, that's the two very clear things that they specified towards the end of the article, is it's not affiliated with either party.
Oh, please, I don't believe that. There was definitely some inside...
I'm starting to think that's just a smoke screen to throw people off.
Yeah, it's totally a red herring, absolutely. This is nonsense. This is
Or
bonkers.
Chekhov's gun if you want to get technical.
Yeah, I mean, and now, people are now spreading the spoilers like fire. To other trailers.
Naughty Dog's been going on damage control, targeting them. I mean, Jesus Lord. There's a way of doing things, and there's a way of not doing things. And so far, trying to literally shut people down all because they just bring it up without even bringing up any images, any videos, any mention, but just say, hey, this is going on. It just makes people it's just going to bring a lot of lawsuits their way, and good Lord, they already have one coming.
And it's just going to like do further bad publicity, because let's face it, like, the creative community has a huge impact on whether a game does well or doesn't do well. Mm-hmm. Like nowadays, just that's kind of how it is. If the creative community loves a game, then the game's going to be popular. If the creative community hates a game, then no one's going to touch that game.
I mean, look at how far COD's been rolling for so many years, despite all the backlash over the future stuff and all of the crappy things Activision has done. I mean, the creative community is still there, evidently.
Yeah, well, that's also because, like, the futuristic stuff also divided the community. So, like, there was still people who supported it and people who didn't support it. But it sounds like for Last of Us 2, there's just...
It's just not going to happen that way.
Yeah, there's just no support for it, really.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Now, this does bring up a few new concerns, too. Got a live comment from Tooney. If Naughty Dog continues with this SJW trend, imagine what they might do to Jak 4/Jak and Daxter remake. I see you.
No, you don't touch that. No.
Stop it.
I mean, yeah, the Jak and Daxter thing was remastered for the PS3, and they left the source material relatively untouched other than a graphical upgrade. But, a total remake from the ground up.
Just do it again for PS4 and frickin' maybe Xbox One. Just don't touch it. Leave it be. Look at what happened when they tried to remake Ratchet and Clank.
Oh my gosh, that dumpster
I mean,
fire.
I like the movie. I can understand why it failed. I can understand, but what they did, oh dear Lord, it was a spectacular failure to behold.
And Ratchet and Clank was such a beloved series. Like, I grew up with Ratchet and Clank. Like,
Me
that
too.
was like one of my favorite games ever.
I grew up with
Ratchet's also super
freaking
cute.
Ratchet and Clank and, well, Sly Cooper
Jack and
because, dude, Sly Cooper.
The trilogy, my dude. We grew up with Jack as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's also not exclusive to like Naughty Dog though. I mean, think about how Bethesda really like, you know, people were hyped for an online Fallout game, and then it's finally just like starting to see good light. And it's been what, like 2 years since release.
Now a new bug where NPCs take people's weapons is now going on, and oh god,
Yeah, that's
the incompetence.
So yeah, but to wrap this up, shall we, give Naughty Dog the stamp of honor of receiving the greatest 4 words that we must say?
I wouldn't give them anything, man.
Yes.
If they want to be like this, then you know what? Have fun. I'll just be over here with my chalice watching the fucking crazy shit go on.
All right. It is get woke, go broke. Those are the 4 famous last words of any company that tries to get the hell woke. Oof.
Yep.
May God have mercy on their souls.
They're going to Davy Jones's locker on this one, man.
I grew up with those old games, and I also played Ty the Tasmanian Tiger when I grew up.
You might be pleased to hear that, speaking of Ty, that he might be coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, he's coming back. Cool. I heard about that.
You know what?
I mean, they're just porting the games, and now they're actually considering making a new one.
I know number 4 was a 2D side-scroller that was released on Steam. Now, I'm not sure about a number 5, but still.
You know what I ironically want to come back? Ironically, I want the Chester the Cheetah game for the SNES.
Here's another interesting live comment, too. Chris Love says, why can't we get a new Conquer?
I know, right? Oh my god, it would be so perfect right now. We need Conquer again.
We do.
I was about to say Conquer's Bad Fur Day, but someone say Conquer.
Conquer, Revive, and Reload in Bad Fur Day. Please, God, give us an HD port.
No, we need...
Yeah, I'm still kind of hung up on the idea that Chester had a game?
Oh, yeah. So for the SNES, there was like a Chester the Cheetah game, and it was completely like a platform. Like a platformer. Yeah, no, I'm not even joking.
I think I played it on an emulator.
That's a real thing?
Yeah,
Chester.
no.
Okay.
Cheetos.
Well, I mean, if they can make a game for the Domino's mascot, the Noid, back then you can obviously bet Cheetos was going to have something like that.
Yeah,
That's
so
really
the game is called Chester Cheetah, Too Cool to Fool.
What the hell?
That is such a 90s / early 2000s tagline.
It definitely was, but it's just hilarious. No, it came out in '92. It's for the SNES.
I was saying.
Oh my goodness! Oh, why have I not heard of this? That's incredible.
Not many people hear of things that they're just now finding out, Ave. I mean, it took me a while to hear about frickin' Dustin Elysian Tale, and that was like 3 years after the game actually released.
Wait, really? I heard about it through a furry creator I was watching called Soul Wolf, so...
This was back, like, way back when I was kind of navigating off very shit internet.
Okay,
so I never even heard of the game until, a couple years later.
Right.
Did you ever give it a try? It's actually a great game.
I actually have it on Xbox 360 and PC. I'm considering getting it on Switch. I like it. The voice actor is now doing something called True Tale. Dust. Lucen Dodge, that's his name, yeah. I'm liking him.
All right. So, without any further ado, we've got another item on the table for you guys. Here's a doozy. Progressive nerd culture outlets and tabletop creators claim depictions of orcs are quote-unquote problematic and quote-unquote racist.
Oh, God. Here we frickin' go again. No. Okay, get the vodka.
Aviera?
Yes. Yeah, I will get the vodka, definitely. Because as I'm reading this, I have to wonder, what are they comparing the orcs to? Are they comparing them to black people? Are they comparing?
Obviously, they'll compare him to anyone.
I'm pretty sure that that's the connection. There is there.
So they.
Yeah.
Right. To black people, like they think a depiction of a fictional race called an orc, like a goblin monster, is basically the same thing as a black person. Who's the real racist here? The one writing the article.
That would be the ones who are saying that orcs are racist depictions.
I mean, to be fair, there was the whole dwarf issue like 5 years ago where people shouldn't be calling dwarfs because it's like it's.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it resulted in Borderlands changing the word midget to a tink.
Yeah, so
it was
was
dumb because dwarfism is the name of a particular type of group of people who are under, I believe it's like 5 feet. They're technically called dwarves. It's just the stigma behind the word itself. It's just a medical term, like we all know that. And of course, as themselves are a race in different video games and movies and books and all that.
Wow! Oh my gosh. Okay, so sorry. How politically correct do we have to be? Because I was reading some of the Twitter comments of this.
Oh,
and it's
don't be
interesting.
politically correct at all.
Okay.
Not even a little bit.
So
we don't have to be politically correct. Screw the politically correct, man.
So there's a Twitter comment that says the whole orcs resemble black people argument just tells me that people that think murderous crude monsters represent black people already think black people are like that and are outing their own racist beliefs. So basically the people who are calling it racist are actually the racist.
That's exactly what I was saying before. The person
who
wrote
lives
this
in
article,
a glass house
I'm like,
shouldn't be
who's the
throwing
real
stones.
racist here? Oh my god, yeah, exactly.
Like I just said, he who lives in a glass house shouldn't be throwing stones, and these people are definitely living in a glass mansion, throwing boulders at people. And they don't know that people are going to start slinging that crap right back.
We be giving people who actually hate other people because of their skin color a bunch of platforms.
Right, but in this instance, though, here's the argument that they're trying to posit is a nature versus nurture sort of thing.
But hey, about dwarfs, back in the 2000s, we used to say midget.
Right.
Yeah, I grew up in that area, so I'm more accustomed to saying that. But if I gotta say little person, I'll say it, but I won't say tink.
Yeah.
I'll say midget straight up.
I think halflings are still okay,
you just say
right?
that they're a little midget person.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah, but you're still treading, stepping on eggshells. But here's the argument.
This is why I don't give politically correct people an inch, because if you do that, they will try and take it for a mile.
That's true.
So now here's the thing, though. It's already not it's not the best argument to posit that depictions of orcs are racist because 1, orcs are fictional. 2, orcs would be considered a species and not a race. So that's so the semantic thing just probably doesn't fly.
Well, I mean, it's also like it's not just racism that this happens under. I mean, think about the fact that almost every new Pokemon game or just any kind of like creature collector game, PETA's right there saying it's unethical and teaching.
I hate PETA so much.
Yeah, so
everybody is PETA.
Everyone's going to complain about something. You can't make the entire world happy.
No,
yeah, you can't please people, but when they start saying stuff like this and actually start gaining like a cult of personality style following, something's wrong.
Like, who would think to write an article about this? Like, oh, it looks like orcs might be racist because they depict black people.
Apparently,
Hold my beer. I can think of a few.
What?
Sorry.
Oh,
like, what
so I was gonna say that the author's name is Spencer Bakula, so clearly he thought of it.
Jesus.
And here's the worst part. I bet it's literally just to like get attention onto whatever this website is or whatever.
No. Bounding into comics is
you gotta generate clicks.
No, dude. You gotta give Bounding into Comics credit because I get things from there. It's not Spencer's fault. It's more, it's the people who make these tweets. Like, look at I'll show you. I'll pop up at the screen share again. Quinn Welsh Wilson basically was the one who cried orcs are racist. And, ergo, that happens.
Colonial...
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the next thing I was
Here
gonna
we
say.
go
Like,
again.
yeah. Just violence against orcs is colonial racism. What have humans and thingos
Put
ever
on
done?
our
What have humans done to you? What have the elves ever done to you?
What have the Red Guard done to you?
Found-
Yeah, I went there and used the fucking Elder Scrolls reference because Red Guard are basically African Americans.
Well, I don't know if you
Quinn,
guys
Quinn be
the Lord of
like,
the Rings
let me
podcast.
put on my tinfoil hat.
At
No,
this
but
point,
or-
yeah,
Okay,
this is
Alex
tinfoil
Jones.
hat territory. This really is tinfoil
Orcs
hat
are pretty
territory.
badass.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, we're in
here's,
tinfoil hat territory.
here's
Yeah,
the thing. When you look at other depictions of orcs in other media, like, just doesn't mean it has to be like the Tolkienic orcs from Lord of the Rings. Like, let's say, what about the Warcraft orcs?
Yeah, I was just about to say them actually.
What about the Elder Scrolls orcs, like you mentioned?
What about Final
I
Fantasy?
mentioned Red
orcs?
Guard, but yeah, the orcs are in there as well. Orcsimer, you know,
There's Final
and there's
Fantasy
species
orcs.
of
There's,
elf of all things.
there's Dragon Quest orcs. There's just so many. Like, orcs are a pretty universal, like, mythological creature.
And we have Gary Gygax and J.R.R. Tolkien for like such creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah. But the underlying factor is each of them depict orcs very, very differently. Are the Warcraft orcs really absolutely evil and all that sort of stuff? Not necessarily.
No,
There's some
I
that
mean,
actually do fight for the Alliance, believe it or not.
yeah, there is.
Right. I mean, but the Tolkienic ones.
As we all know, orcs are generally the armies of the bad guys in war. You know,
To
that's
some,
what
to a
they are.
certain
Yeah,
degree, they might
But
be.
I think Lord of the
That's
Rings
what
pretty
they're
much
supposed to
proved that.
be. No, but like that's what they're supposed to be. So okay, this is a bad group of a fictional race of creatures and whatnot. Okay, cool, we get that. How is that racist against anybody? They're their own thing. That's like a unicorn. You know,
Right.
they're
Speaking
kind
of that,
horses, but not really. You know,
yeah, I mean,
they
I
don't
got.
exist.
You know what? In the next few, I got something for you. Just in the next few, you're gonna this, but just hang on tight. But essentially, yeah. I mean, I know, like, a lot of fancies have depicted dingos, and you can't. And just because you use, Lord of the Rings as the one in all, it's not universally true that orcs are absolute evil. So, yeah, that argument again, like, it falls on its face. But
I mean, well, maybe the orcs in Lord of the Rings aren't evil themselves either. They're like, hey, we're gonna go follow Sauron because he's basically a god on this world who wants to rule it, and we should follow him because he's very powerful and amazing.
Well, and also, I think orcs on Lord of the Rings are also easily manipulated. Some, like World of Warcraft orcs, there's actually some pretty wise orcs there that realize, oh, wait, my entire clan is doing something bad. I'm gonna go to the Alliance instead.
And make it stop.
Mhm.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, I am one of those people that use the word racist correctly. If somebody's a white person, they hate a black person because of their skin color, I'll call them a racist.
in the interest of fantasy, elves versus dark elves.
Oh yeah, so like elves are mostly racist against dark elves.
Sometimes
Yep,
against even wood elves, high
yeah.
elves, even orcs, since Elder Scrolls likes to depict them as an offset of elves.
Yeah, and I mean, what? Isn't it the moon elves who think they're superior to every other type of elf? Yes, that's what I thought.
The Thalmor, if you want to get technical, I think.
Yeah.
They're essentially a supremacist clan that just got introduced. We know.
Now, where have we seen that before? Oh, I know two groups: Stalin and Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
You know?
aren't those elves the good guys? Like,
What,
Now,
technically-
the moon elves?
the high
Yeah,
elves normally
No,
they
so-
do whatever, but
Or-
the
or
Thalmor
were they,
are
like,
just
the bad
basically a
guys wanting to kill?
supremacist cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they are, but
But yeah, I mean, you've got to
That's
play the
pretty-
Elder Scrolls v Skyrim to understand that.
Do you see?
So
Do you
are
see
Or
they
the
even
enemy?
freaking Oblivion, It can be any Elder Scrolls game, and you can pretty much catch a glimpse and understanding of it.
Did you see the live comment that just happened though? Does this mean super mutants in Fallout are next?
Oh, I bet you. I'll put
goodness.
$5 down right now, saying, "Yep, they're next," because there's always some kind of overly offended little person who's just going to get their stick up their butt and start screeching about something. How it's always racist. Re.
War games being hit with the Islamophobic card because of war based in the Middle East.
That's a topic for another time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
So-
a bigger rabbit hole to go down.
That's a topic. Yeah, but here's the thing. I got something for you guys. And I promise you it's going to be a doozy because this is the Orc of 2020. Don't take my word for this, but here you go.
$5, it looks like a hipster.
Artists make orcs less racist.
What the hell is that? It looks like a hippopotamus.
It looks like Miss Piggy went and mated with a Smurf.
I know, right? That's what made me equate it to a hippopotamus.
Right, so it says.
Oh god, it looks like a hippopotamus anthropomorphized.
And
Only
a Smurf.
with.
less
Oh,
racist
God.
By making them
It's like, what am I looking at? I'm like Alex Jones, just laughing, saying we're being invaded by South American walruses.
Oh, this
So-
is terrible.
I'm trying to figure out how the queer part makes them less racist.
I think look at this stuff. Like first you have the bad design, the hippopotamus tusk ball thing that's in the wrong color. Of course, it's not green, it's not gray, it's not.
It's teal. I've seen the future, and it is teal. If anything, Deus Ex taught me.
Yeah, artist Eden Black thinks they found a solution to the racist stigma by making them queer. And some people think that orcs are reimaginings of black people.
Oh my god, dude.
And yeah, something. I mean, yeah. We're gonna scroll through this. I know I found this very suddenly, and something it's all sort of bonkers stuff because the Lord of the Rings is drug addiction. Really, what does that have to do with anything?
The saga is actually drug addiction. What?
I've been lied to my whole life.
Oh my brain.
Same.
If I remember correctly, one of the Lord of the Rings media, Shadow of War, actually had an orc fight by your side, I think.
Yeah, it did.
But he made a comment that would actually piss SJWs off that they never went for. Which was, and I
But here's the
quote,
thing.
"My black's a little rusty, but I say he's going to leave you all for dead."
Lord of the Rings is drug addiction. Somebody's watching too much Lord of the Rings. Then
I'm a little confused by that because I thought it was the whole about resisting temptation, but whatever.
If that's the case, then I'm surprised how the Elder Scrolls ain't about Khajiits overcoming their addiction to skooma.
Right. Okay.
I've
Guys.
seen Lord of the Rings quite so many times, and yet
Yeah.
I've never, in my life, watching it, thought, "Wow, the orcs represent black people." I never once
No.
thought that. Who
I've
are these
never
people
even-
who think
Hey,
these
this is just
orcs
people
are
reading into something that isn't there, That's
Right.
what it is.
Right. Okay, I got something for you. Eden Black. This is how Eden Black justifies the new design. It's important to know that how orcs were made to fit into pre-existing races and colonial ideas, and how that has tainted their portrayal. I think by diversifying and humanizing them, we can keep the good parts and toss out the racist trash.
So we make him pick.
Dude, they're a fictional species. There's no reason. What the hell is this? I'm sitting here like, what? How does that even make any form of freaking sense?
Okay, so if
It
we go back
confused
to,
me and it hurts my brain.
now, let's say you were an up-and-coming fantasy writer, like let's say in 2021, and these are the new normal orcs. Could they be taken seriously as?
No.
I feel
Even J.R.R. Martin would even laugh at this point.
I mean, I feel like this is like a kid's series orc, not even just like you don't see this in adult literature. You see this
It
in
looks like something out of The Last Kids on Earth, for God's sake.
You know what it looks like? It looks like a persona from someone from Tumblr.
You know what it
Oh,
looks
God.
There we go.
No. You know what it looks like? CalArts style.
CalArts is too much used. We
it's
should just
pretty
go with
good, I don't know.
play it safe, social justice style.
Steven Universe.
I hate Steven Universe. Now they're making another sequel series out of that, by the way.
Right, but yeah, look at that. Nobody would take them seriously as as a villainous force. I agree with you on that assessment. Could they really be a force of like benevolent orcs? There's in very
No.
few. No, not really.
There's already benevolent orcs in other forms of fantasy media. We don't
True.
need to make it a benevolent orc. It exists already.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
I can literally name quite a few actually, even one from the Warcraft movie.
All right, guys. Imagine this. Imagine watching a movie, right? Like a fantasy movie about a magical battle, and the army of orcs comes in, and then the general is some half-baked queer hippopotamus-looking orc, and is like, "All right, guys, let's go do it."
Smells like weed
Does
trash.
anybody want that? Who the hell actually wants that? Nobody wants the queer soft orcs. We want the ravenous.
We want
goblins.
the mean, menacing, barbaric wolves with really sharp teeth.
That's right.
Who would beat
wielding
you with
the
a
flaming
club.
axe.
The ones who
Yeah, all
ravage,
that
rape, and
good
pillage entire human.
Like a
villages.
Viking. Like a
Yes.
frickin' Viking, man.
Yes.
It is, yeah, it is ultimately a power fantasy at the end of the day. Oh, and one more live comment. Noble says, "I wonder what William Shatner thinks of all this."
I bet you $5 he just doesn't care.
Probably.
Because,
No, I mean,
let's face it, the only time he cares is when he can get money out of it. You know, when they pay
here's the
him.
thing. You show this to every other depiction, you know. Tolkien would be rolling in his grave.
Tolkien would be vomiting blood and rolling in his grave, Linda Blair
Yep.
style.
And and then, you know, when you show this, like, let's say you show this to either Bethesda, Blizzard, you know, all things that make fantasy, they're gonna laugh at it.
Well,
Mainly
I mean,
Todd Howard and maybe Shinji Mikami.
I mean, Square Enix might buy it, but that's because they're so desperate for money at this point that they'll pretty much do anything.
Anybody would. Anybody would.
All right, so Avira, just as a thing, like, I know it's, you know what, it's whatever. We're in Vivar's time. We got plenty of time. So you know what, Avira, there's one more thing I know you wanna bring up.
Oh god,
Yes,
the
there is.
aliens.
Yes.
Aliens.
Now, guys, I don't know if you remember a couple weeks ago.
It wasn't even a couple weeks ago. It was
We should,
literally a couple days ago.
we should just raid Area 51 again.
No. Guys, listen. I said 2020 is absolutely bonkers, and if aliens landed tomorrow, I would not be even remotely surprised. Well, it turns out the rest of the world is not surprised either, even when the Pentagon just released 3 videos and they said that they were entirely real of, you know, the Navy recording UFOs. These are 40-foot-long objects flying at absurd speeds that the government officially says they have no idea what these things are. And, yep, so the aliens are here, and this is actually a very historic time.
We may be going
This
into
is,
frickin' XCOM.
No. I mean, like, this is the first time the United States government, like, the actual Pentagon, you know, like the military command center of the United States, they're actually admitting this. And it's on their website. Like, what? Bro, the aliens are here. They are
Bruh.
here.
Is this the time
you
when
know,
we play, you
everyone's so
know,
concerned
the theme
about
from
the-
the X-Files, just to
Yes.
vibe this correctly?
No, but,
Or
like,
just start
everyone's so
learning how to
concerned
take
about
back the planet
coronavirus.
like XCOM.
I already knew there was
Goes
something
under
out
the radar.
there anyways. Since
I mean, it's also possible that they were already here and they got bored of us, so they just left.
Or they're just keeping their distance because they're seeing all the crazy shit like the riots and all that when Trump got elected.
No, I
Are
mean,
they
like, hell.
Or they're
if-
keeping their
if I
distance
was-
because right now we just take offense to everything.
No, I mean, like,
I
dude,
wouldn't
if I
blame
was an
him.
alien right now, and I saw Earth, I'd
Hey.
be like, I'll come back later. Maybe.
I think they observe our planet or something.
Bro,
We'll come back later, maybe in 1,000 years when hopefully you guys have finally evolved.
right? But like, what?
Or they're just gonna sit and wait it out and say, okay, we didn't come earlier and say hello because, well, we're about to show you what y'all been doing for the past 100 years.
I do think there's something out there because a long time ago I did see something in the sky that was kind of, it's like it looked like 2 stars, but it ended up spinning around and doing a
Right.
figure 8.
But- But here's the thing. Also, like just to sidetrack this a little bit, you look at the footage again, and then you see in the past couple of years, what have they been depicting the aliens as? Like these flying saucers, spinning saucers. Now it's something different, isn't it?
True.
The
That's
game's
crazy.
changed, man.
Dude, I can't believe that the Pentagon actually confirmed that these are UFOs. That's fucking crazy.
Well, I mean, I guess they figured we were all going to die from Corona Chan, so.
Well, yeah.
Or they just saw it as a perfect time to clean out their frickin' closet.
Hey, you guys, we're facing a threat, but let's introduce another threat that's not so harmless. Not to worry, you guys. The U.S. is perfectly safe.
Yeah, okay, that's a very good point. That's the reason they declassified these. They said, look, these are basically aliens, all right? We have no idea how these things operate, but America is fine. They were
We're
talking about
good.
capabilities, not being compromised, and they're like, oh, no, America's fine, but these things are also out there, and we're tracking them, and that's what it is. So, yeah, like
I wonder how many
I saw some weird spinning lights in the sky behind my house at one point.
I wonder how many people actually.
You're not using telescopes to see things.
No, I was looking outside when I got out of the car, and it looked like two stars, and they started circling around each other, and they started doing a figure eight before completely stopping in midair.
I wonder if Oh, geez, I lost my train of thought. No, oh, no, the conspiracy theorists. I wonder how many of them actually went to their bunkers when this information came out.
I would say all of them. They just said, nope, fuck it, I'm out.
I mean, bro, the Pentagon, though, that's some big news. Like, why is this not big news circulating around the planet right now?
Because
we're all dying from
basically, we
Corona,
all
Chan.
knew the Pentagon was hiding shit. Nobody just
Well,
didn't,
yeah, but
everybody
now
just
they
didn't care
admitted,
anymore,
though. Like,
The only reason
what
they
the
started
hell?
feeding us alien-themed media was to calm down in case they ever decide to land and say hello, so we don't have a spaz attack and just start shooting at them.
Or maybe they just. I mean, it's almost like you want to go back to the whole, bring back the whole Storm Area 51 saga again.
Yes,
Maybe.
why not? Have
Why not?
Scratch 21 perform, Aliens, that one song. Oh, God.
So
Just
so,
Naruto run it.
So all I'm saying though is if we're gonna actually storm Area 51 again, our theme song needs to be City Escape from Sonic Adventure 2.
I mean, the last one was just a big kegger in the desert, which everybody was fine with. That's all it was.
Yeah.
I think a couple of people
don't
got
know,
arrested, but it was basically just hippies smoking weed in the desert. Like,
No.
That's Burning Man you're thinking of.
Also, you got to do the Naruto running so they can dodge bullets.
Yes! Oh my goodness. Didn't we show that clip on the show a few weeks ago? Oh, sorry, a few months ago when it happened in September. The
They
Naruto
did.
dude.
Like one guy basically,
running.
got caught doing. He got filmed doing it, and
That was
wow,
incredible.
the memes. And I can't believe they actually took even like the military took the phenomenon of Naruto running and basically put like a whiteboard lecture on it.
Oh yeah. Well, to be fair, the military is like getting with the meme times now, so
I mean, they pretty much got to it's adapt or die.
yeah.
But then again, oh yeah.
Well, I guess that might be all we got tonight.
I do. Wow, this was fire. I like it.
I mean, we could talk about Facebook's Care React and the new memes that it's bringing, but
Big challenge.
Nobody gives a crap about Mark Zuckerberg's little platform anymore. It's slowly dying.
that's why they put the Care React, and they knew it was going to be a meme fest.
I don't even use Facebook anymore.
Facebook is a cancer. So is Twitter.
I think we're good. So it's a good
Yeah, we're
time
good.
to just So who'd like? I know this was fire. These stories. Oh my goodness. So who'd like to wrap things up? Closing statements. Hey on.
Yeah. I have nothing to wrap up on, but the whole orc thing, man, just I don't know if I'm living in reality anymore. It's obvious I'm living in some kind of
This is a
jigsaw
fantasy after
style
all.
punishment.
Yeah, and I mean, if they introduce the Orc of 2020 to become standard, yeah.
I really hope it doesn't, but I already know someone's planning like a YouTube series off of it. I'm sure.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked. As much as I am a pessimist towards this kind of thing, I always know that there's some way this is gonna be used, and that somebody's gonna try and make it the new norm. Then somebody's gonna push back, and then it's just gonna be a whole clusterfuck of fighting.
I mean, it's not like they said the Smurfs called they want their blue back.
Makes me wonder what Deadwing Dork is gonna do to that if he ever finds it. Oh god.
But yeah.
Oh god.
So next, NoDragonsPlz. Anything to wrap up with?
I guess I don't know. It's just it's always interesting when companies take like a political approach in their games, like super heavy politics, and it's really just kind of the death of like that game in particular. So it's interesting Naughty Dog has decided to kill their own game.
They're just doing suicide at this point.
Yeah. Yes, that is that. Anyway, Avira.
Well, you mean Sparky, right?
Yeah, Sparky. I mean, why not? Like, anything to close up with for this week's news cycle?
Well, actually, this podcast this episode has been interesting for me, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, who knew what could have been fine? I mean, I don't know. I was expecting another slow week, but bam.
Welcome to the internet.
Yay, internet.
Nah, it's like there's that, and like activities bustling, and when we were twiddling our thumbs at home. Yeah.
All right. I guess so. Yeah. Thanks everyone so much for listening and watching and whatnot. Hope you had a fantabulous time. Yeah. This is crazy. 2020 is absolutely bonkers. I'm sorry if you're not able to go to any conventions, or if you're worried about the aliens arriving. All of that and more. I hope to see you next week.
Indeed. And as always, our episodes are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. Our YouTube channel is not going away, and more later on, as we also put it. Now we just got to beat Naughty Dog to the punch before they mass report us down.
Oh yes.
Don't you worry about a thing. I got this under control. So, without any further ado, I hope you enjoyed the show, as we did enjoy the making of this. Thanks once again for your continued support and time. This is us signing off. Farewell, and until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
That's all for now.